Greetings, Calico fans. This is H.H. German from Sigma Comics, and I'm coming to you from the great city of New York. And I'm excited to talk about today's topic. But before I get into it, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, because I think you're going to like what you're going to hear. And before I get into today's video, let me take a swig from the old Calico mug. Always good. Alright, so now that you've hit the subscribe button and the like button, let's get into today's video. So, we get a lot of questions coming our way, and one of the biggest ones we get is, hey, how'd you guys do at San Diego Comic-Con? You guys are always on the road, and we want to know how you did. So, yes, we are always on the road. In fact, I just got back from Soda City Comic-Con in Columbus, South Carolina. Before that, it was Fan Expo Chicago. Before that, Fan Expo Boston. Before that, Tampa Bay Comic-Con. And before that, it was San Diego Comic-Con International. And that's the one, the big one. That's the one that you want to learn, you want to know about, how we did. All right, so in short, we did phenomenally well, okay? I would even venture to say that we were the most successful small press publisher in the entire building. Now, that's a pretty big statement. Well, let me qualify it. I'm not one to make outlandish statements. In fact, I'm very conservative when it comes to anything performance related, okay? For those of you who do not know me, I tend to be, as I just mentioned, when it comes to performance, someone who doesn't really talk too much about this, grandeur kind of thing. But I do lay it out there. I am a New Yorker, so I'm sort of a straight talking kind of guy. Get right to the meat of the problem, right? So what, or the issue, I should say. In this case, we just blew the thing apart. In my opinion, we just did fantastically well. And we killed it. That's what we would say. We killed it. I'm pretty sure we were the only small press publisher to have sold out. And if there are other ones we certainly didn't see, we were shopping by Sunday morning. We closed up shop in small press. Okay, we closed up our booth there. We were shopping by Sunday morning. All right. I didn't see anyone else in small press closed up and shopping. Well, guess what? We were. We were shopping. So we sold out of over 100 pounds of comics. I personally brought over 100 pounds. Okay, Casey brought, a good amount too. Well, we sold out. Okay, we made a very good penny for our fight against animal abuse, and we're very excited to have done that. And that's what we're all about: fighting animal abuse through comics. And here's the issue. Because there always is an issue. You could say, well, how is there an issue when you're doing so well? Well, guess what? Whenever there's winners, there's got to be losers. All right? And I try not to talk like this competitively about comics, but the truth is, we're competing, right? We're competing for the dollars here, certainly in small press. And, there were some people that were very pleased because they understand that we're quite a bit different than these other publishers, right? These publishers are publishing comics, for profit, to try to obviously enrich themselves. Okay, what we're trying to do is something very, very different. So we actually do have detractors as a result. People who see with their own eyes the effectiveness, A, how we sell, B, the quality of our product, right? And see the fact that we're very different in what we present in our material. Well, there's a little word called jealousy, and it does rear itself that ugly head. And the people who don't like the fact that we're out there shopping while they're having to work on Sunday. So that was a bit unfortunate. I'm the kind of person who likes to support as many comic book creators. And by the way, let me be very clear. We are certainly very supportive of all creators, and we know this from experience. I mean, I know it from experience as a young person because I used to get my comic books, as a high school student at a comic book shop. And I remember that whenever there was a comic book that was doing well, that would get us all to the comic shop. And then from there, we would learn about other titles. Understand the following, folks. So these are you who pertain to that audience that do get jealous or whatever because they're seeing somebody else. Don't do that. Seriously. There's no need for you to be jealous because somebody's capturing some success. That's only going to help you. When someone secures a sale, especially in your aisle, okay, even if they leave directly from that, they're having a positive experience. They've been compelled enough to make a purchase there. And guess what? There's a very good chance that they're going to be coming back, especially if the comic book is good. Okay? So what does that mean? That means they're going to come back there, and now they'll be open to other titles as well. It happens everywhere when it comes to comics and any kind of book sales, frankly. You get something hot at the bookstore, well, guess what's going to happen? People are going to start being open to other authors. And that's the wonderful thing about comics is they're more digestible to read than, prose books. Okay? So they're very sticky. There's a sticky quality to them in that people, when they're confronted with a very good series, well, they want more. Compared to a prose book, they're cheaper, right? So, they can certainly be cheaper. I think, frankly, some of these prices are outlandish, but we certainly keep our books very well priced. Our books are only $2.99, right? So, most certainly our books are significantly cheaper than a prose book. Okay, unfortunately, there are some comics out there that pretty much the same price as a novel, right? Which I think is pretty crazy. So, if you're a creator and you're listening to this, seriously, reconsider your pricing if you're putting out a book that's pretty up there, right? So, I just mentioned what we charge for ours. We have a 24-page comic book, which is standard, and we charge $2.99 for it. All right, and mind you, every penny goes to fighting animal abuse for hours, right? So obviously what we do with the money is put it right back into the book so that we can churn out more books to promote the fight against animal abuse through comics. And in doing so, we sponsor all the wonderful charities that we vet to make sure their program to operations ratio is over 85%. So the money that you are putting into our comic books goes directly back into the fight against animal abuse through the support of the charities that are all properly vetted. And that's why we say, it's actually a better thing to buy our comics if you're actually going to fight against animal abuse, because some of these charities that take your money, unfortunately, a lot of them are very unethical. And what do? They fund their the salaries and the light bills, all these things that are operations heavy, right? So these are very operations heavy organizations. So all these 501(c)s are supposed to report their how they spend their money, and thankfully we actually vet these organizations, right? So unfortunately, the problem is some of the ones that have the big money to run these commercials at 2-3 a.m. These are the ones that have the CEOs that make over such and such $1 million and have these incredibly huge operational situations and dedicate a tiny fraction to the programs that they serve. Anyway, this is all to say that despite the fact that we have a very noble charitable effort that's driving our pursuit of the mighty dollar, if you will, we're still able to keep the product very responsibly priced. So if we can do that, seriously, try to do it, because I think it's going to help you in the long run. So again, this is feedback to you creators out there. Ultimately, we do want to help make sure that you are successful, because again, the more successful we are, it's better for everyone. We want people to be successful. I want everybody who's selling next to me to be successful in comics. This is fun, folks. You know, there's really no need for, you know, jealousy or animosity against, other, small press creators, especially small press, for Christ's sakes. You know, we're all in the same boat, and we're trying to do something good, and it's fun. Creating comics is fun. Let's just, say it. It is a bit, it's a lot. It is a lot of work, as many of you know, who are creators. But it is so fun, and it's not just the creating of the comics. It is the meeting the people, and also meeting other creators as well, and collaborating, etc., etc. So anyway, we were very successful. We were shopping by Sunday, and we will continue to put out great hardcore comics, for hardcore comic book fans that love animals and detest animal cruelty. So that's your answer right there. It was a great show, and frankly, I think it was a great show because, and you've heard this already, I'm sure, there were more dollars on the floor. Okay, I think that I'm not going to say that the absence of Hollywood was fantastic, and that should be the case every year. All I'm saying is that I think the attention of making these events solely focused on Hollywood has been historically detrimental to the comic book creator. And this year, when these individuals were not here as a body, right, and probably better said, a year where Hollywood wasn't the focus. It's probably better said that way, because we don't want to, no one should ever be, excluded if they're, a creative and they have an audience. It was a better year, and I think it's because of the non-focus on Hollywood. So how would I like to see it next year? As someone who has seen a successful Comic-Con 2023 without Hollywood, well, I would say, have Hollywood there, but just don't make it the main focus. Make it Hollywood, make it comics, make it video games, make it manga, anime, make it all these other things that make the event such a wonderful experience that brings people from all around the world to learn about what's cool and new in comics and pop culture and all these wonderful things, without the damn focus being Hollywood. How about that, right? I don't think that's such a bad thing. Why? Because everyone gets to share in the pie, as we saw here in the 2023 version of the event, an event in which we did very, very well. Again, we sold out, and we're extremely happy for that. So, with that, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, because I think you're going to like more and more of these videos. And listen, man, do the right thing, all right? Do the fight thing. Do our thing. You know what we do, right? We fight. And what do we fight against? We fight for animals.